everyone, this is me, Brittany. I just want to let you all know that I'm continuing the story. So here we go. Enjoy, people, and the Lord Jesus really loves you all very much. Don't forget that, okay? It was in the middle of the night, and everybody was sleeping, and everybody was having sweet dreams, except for Anne Marie. She was having a nightmare again, and when she woke up, she was in tears, and Charlie woke up to find Anne Marie on the ground with her face on her knees and her arms crossed over and crying. So Charlie walked over to her to see if she was all right. "Hey, Squeaker, what's wrong, Charlie?" I had a bad dream, Anne Marie. Do you want to talk about it? Says Charlie. No, says Anne Marie. Are you sure? Says Charlie. Yes, says Anne Marie. Okay, but just to let you know, I am here for you if you want to talk about it. Okay, says Charlie. Okay, says Anne Marie. Charlie was about to go back to bed when he heard her crying again, so he decided to hold her into his arms, put her head on his chest, and let her cry. Shh, shh, it's okay, Squeaker. Everything will be all right. I'm here, Charlie says with a soft whisper. But Anne Marie kept on crying really hard, and Charlie kept rocking her back and forth to calm her down. And when she finally stopped crying, her eyes were red and puffy from all that crying, and Charlie wiped away the tears from her eyes and says, "Feel better now?" he says softly. "Yes," says Anne Marie. They stayed warm embrace until she was fully calmed down, and she decided to ask Charlie to read her bedtime story like old times. "Charlie," says Anne Marie, Yes, sweetheart, Charlie said. Can you please read me a bedtime story like you did the night before we had our first night together? Says Emery. Of course, says Charlie. So she gave him her favorite book and he read her the time story. When he was done reading, she was asleep, and Charlie gave her a kiss on the forehead and says, "Good night, sweetheart. I love you very much," says Charlie with a soft whisper in her ear. And soon he was asleep as well. They are all sleeping peacefully until morning came and a brand new day for all of them. In case Fred was planning on figuring out what to do to the little orphan girl, and just then Aunt Belladonna had an idea. Why not we wait until she's sick again and he put her on the box above the water and wait for Charlie to come and rescue her, and that's when we kill him and Sasha. And Red says, "That's a good idea. Well done, my love. Once we find the little girl, we will have our revenge on Charlie once and for all," he says, laughing, and started to sing. Make sure Carface gets it right, Red. You got it, my love, Belladonna. It feels so strong. I feel like purring. Red, it's deep, deep breathing to feel the reason. So many will feel so sad. 3 cheers for victory. It feels so good to be back. With that, Belladonna went out to spy on Carface to make sure he was doing his job on finding Anne-Marie and David. Now Red and Belladonna and Carface will get their revenge on Charlie and his family. Little do they know that Annabelle and Itchy were watching them from heaven, and they decided to warn Charlie, Sasha, David, and Anne-Marie before it was too late. It was a beautiful day at David's house, and everybody was just waking up, and Anne-Marie woke up in Charlie's arms, and she kissed them on his nose, and he woke up making that weird, disgust sound at the girl. That never gets old, says Anne-Marie. Well, it's just like old times, says Charlie. Then Charlie and Anne-Marie decides to get everybody else up for breakfast. And Charlie went to wake up Sasha, and Anne-Marie went to wake up David. Once everybody was awake, they all decided to head downstairs for breakfast. And once everybody was done with breakfast, they all decided to plan a family hangout with just Charlie, Sasha, David, and Anne-Marie. Just then, Annabelle and Itchy appeared, and Charlie was delighted to see his best friend again. "Hey, Itchy," says Charlie. "Hey, Charlie," says Itchy. "Hey, Charles, how's family life?" says Annabelle. "It's been good. What are you guys doing here?" says Charlie. "We came to give you some bad news," says Annabelle. "What kind of news? Is Gabriel's horn stolen again?" says Charlie. "No, not this time. Gabriel's horn is perfectly fine and safe back where it belongs," says Annabelle. "Well, what's the bad news?" says Charlie. "It's Red, and he is back, and he wants revenge. But this time, he does not want Gabriel's horn this time. He wants Anne-Marie," says Annabelle. This news really scared Anne-Marie. She was shaking and terrified. She had no idea why Red would want her, and she said, Why would this so-called Red want me?" says Anne-Marie. "Well, it seems Scarface told him about you and your ability to talk to animals, and he thinks it's a good idea to have you as bait to get to Charlie and Sasha and kill them." With that, Annabelle what what Annabelle said was true. And this really broke Anne-Marie's heart, and she broke down and started to cry. And Charlie went to calm her down and said, "It's okay, sweetheart. I will never let Carface or Red or anyone hurt you. I would gladly give up my life up again just for you because I love you so much. You are still my little girl, always." And Sasha was really surprised. She never seen the side of Charlie before. You really love Emery like his own daughter, and Sasha feels the same way about David. She loved him like he was her own son, and she would never let anything happen to either of them because they were a family now and forever. And now they must protect each other. Now more than ever, even if it costs them their life. Itchy have so many questions of how Emery came to San Francisco, California, from New Orleans. He was wondering, did she run away? What happened to her foster parents? And how did she end up living with Charlie, Sasha, and David? That is what he will have to find out later. So with that, Annabelle and Itchy went back to heaven. They promised to come and visit and to check up on the family to make sure everything is okay and to keep the family updated on Red and Carface. So with that, they both said goodbye to the family and headed back to heaven. So Charlie now has to really protect his family from danger and not let anything happen to Anne-Marie, David, and Sasha. He really loved them all and will not let anyone hurt them. They were a family and they will not let anybody get hurt. Not now, not ever. So with that, they all decided to spend time together. What do you say we all go out and go swimming, or a walk in the park, or a picnic, says Charlie. I think that's a splendid idea, says Sasha. Me too, says David. And I am in as well, says Emery. With that, the whole family all agreed to have the best time of their life, with nothing going to ruin their fun, not even red or carved face. Oh, it was a wonderful day. Everybody was going to the park and going to have a wonderful hangout as a family. And Charlie, Sasha, David, and Anne-Marie were all having fun playing tag, hide and seek, and telling stories about their adventures. Just then, music started to play, a slow song, and Charlie says to Sasha, "Would you like to dance, my dear? I thought you never asked," says Sasha. And David and Anne-Marie join in on the dance floor as well. "You're a wonderful dancer," David says to Anne-Marie. "You have an amazing gift, a wonderful talent." Anne-Marie giggles. "I'm getting dizzy," while David spun her around. "This day has been so amazing, so wonderful, so grand, and that's what's driving me crazy," says David, and then he began to sing. "I need Brazil, the frog, the frill. I've never been there, but someday I will. Adventure and danger, love from a stranger. Let me be surprised." Today the sun, they said there'll be snow. When all said and done, it's fun not to know what keeps my heart humming. It's guessing what's coming. Let me be surprised. Oh, ain't it great, ain't it great, when fate lets you away. La 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 la. World seems worthless. You feel worthless, and suddenly there's a big bone on your plate. Oh, David, please remember that down here, a world of used cars and single bars, broken dreams, and now reach the body over. Not for this roper. I don't like to steal, but I don't buy the steel. La la la. In about 3 seconds, she will have realized. La la la. And she's gonna be, "David, what are you doing?" they all said, as he began to find something behind his back. Wait, you'll see. Everybody, what's that you got behind your back? She's gonna be... Everybody gasps, including Annabelle and Itchy. David! They all said at the same time. Don't mind that watch. Surprise! Everybody shout, David! As the watch began to spin, little did they know that was Red's watch. That was a big mistake of David's life. What he has done. And now, little do they know that Red has it easier chance to find them now more than ever. David was in big trouble this time. He won the watch that belonged to Red. Little do they know that Red was now not going to be in hell. He is now going to be set free because of that. So Charlie, Sasha, David, and Anne-Marie were all heading back home and decided to talk about it as a family. So Charlie and Sasha talked to alone about it. It's like how to handle this situation. So what are we going to do with David, says Sasha. I do not know. I never had this problem with Squeaker, says Charlie. Well, most parents ground their kids, says Sasha. Well, you think that will work? I never grounded a kid before, let alone a human, says Charlie. Well, it's worth a shot, says Sasha. Okay, then it's settled, says Charlie. So Charlie and Sasha went up to David's room and talked to the kids and says to them, David, what you did was not funny, says Sasha. Me and Charlie decided that you are grounded for 1 week, which means you will not leave this house with the exception of school, and you will have no friends over, no sweets for the entire week. Is that understood? Says Sasha. And David was surprised that Charlie and Sasha would actually ground him for something like that. Well, if David's grounded, then so am I, says Anne-Marie. Charlie and Sasha were shocked. to hear her say that, and they knew that she was falling in love with him. And deep down, Charlie did not like it, because that would mean she is growing up into a beautiful woman, but she was always his little girl in his heart. So Charlie says to her, "Squeaker, why would you want to be grounded?" Charlie says. "Because I love him," says Anne-Marie. Charlie was shocked to hear that. He never imagined her saying that. Well, if that's the way you want it, then fine. Squeaker, you are also grounded for 1 week, because you should know that you're too young to date David right now, and I will not allow backtalk, young lady. And if you ever talk back to me or backtalk me or Sasha, then you'll be even more grounded than ever. Do you understand, young lady? Plus, don't forget what I did for you. I found you with Itchy and rescued you from Carface. And just to let you know, I would have left you with Carface a long time ago if I didn't have a soft heart, and I'm only saying this because I raised you and took care of you as my own until the Walt family adopted, and I just want to let you know I will never forget about you. Not now, not ever. Do you understand, sweetheart?" says Charlie with a touching and father love like. "Yes," Anne-Marie says, feeling really sad now. And Sasha says to Anne-Marie, "Look, honey, he's only saying this because he really loves you, and he doesn't want anything to happen to you. If something were to happen to you, he would be so heartbroken he would not even know what to do if he lost you. He loves you so much, sweetie, like its own little daughter. Remember, he took care of you and looked after you before you got adopted. I did not forget that, all right," says Sasha with a soft voice. And Anne-Marie understood why Charlie worries about her so much. He would be so heartbroken if anything happened to her, and with that they all decided to have dinner and go to bed until morning. It's been 1 week, and David and Anne-Marie were both ungrounded, and Charlie decided to reward them with ice cream and go out to have some family time after David is done with his homework. When David was done with his homework, they all headed out to have a fun as a family. And when it came time for them to go home, they all headed back home to get a good night's sleep. Charlie tucked in Anne-Marie and kissed her on the forehead goodnight, and David was tucked in as well, and Sasha gave him a kiss on the forehead goodnight as well. When both kids were asleep, Sasha and Charlie also went to bed and kissed each other goodnight and drifted off to sleep. And Sasha's nightmare. Red was hurting David and Charlie, and Sasha tried to save him but couldn't, and Red said, "There's nothing you can do. You're too late. Say goodbye to your boyfriend and child." With that, Red used his big claws to slice Charlie and David and killed them. "No, no, 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 no," Sasha says. Red laughed, and then Sasha began to wake up and walk out of the bed outside and cry her eyes out. Meanwhile, Charlie woke up to find Sasha gone, and he decided to go look for her. He checked the living room and kitchen, but she was not there. And then he heard crying outside and went to check it out. There he found Sasha crying her eyes out, so he decided to go over to comfort his wife. "Hey," says Charlie with a concerned voice. "Hey," Sasha says with a sad voice. "What's wrong?" Charlie said with a soft voice. "I had a nightmare," said Sasha. "Do you want to talk about it?" says Charlie. Then Then Sasha began to tell Charlie what happened in her dream. And when she was done, she broke down and cried really hard. So Charlie pulled Sasha into his chest and she cried in his arms as Charlie rocked back and forth to calm her down and she just kept crying. Hey, it's okay, don't cry. Everything will be alright. I'm here. And so is David and Emery. We're not going anywhere. Not now, not ever, he said with a whisper. But Charlie and it felt so real. I don't know what I would do if I lost all of you. Shh, don't ever talk like that. Nothing is going to happen, okay? Charlie says with a soft voice. Okay, Sasha said with a soft voice. Charlie then wiped away her tears from her eyes and kissed her on the lips. Charlie, Sasha said with a soft voice. Yes, Charlie says with a soft voice as well. Please sing our song with me, Sasha said softly. Of course, Charlie said softly. They sing their song and then Charlie and Sasha decided to go back inside and sleep. When they were back inside, Charlie picked up Sasha bridal style and carried her up the stairs to David's bedroom and laid her down gently on their bed and kissed her on the forehead good night, and then he went to sleep as well. And everybody had a beautiful and peaceful sleep that night. It was a lovely morning and everybody was getting up for breakfast. Once after breakfast, David headed off to school, and Charlie and Sasha both said goodbye to David, and when he was gone, they realized that someone was missing, and that someone was Anne-Marie. So they both went to get Anne-Marie up for the day. When they got there, they were shocked to find Anne-Marie holding her tummy on the ground, and Charlie and Sasha rushed over to her to see if she was okay. Marie, sweetheart, are you okay? Says Sasha. No, says Anne-Marie. What's wrong, honey? Says Charlie. But before she could say anything, Anne-Marie rushed to the bathroom and threw up. And after she was done, she wiped her mouth and broke down and cried. And Charlie and Sasha went over by her side and comforted her. Shh, it's okay, sweetheart. Me and Sasha are both here for you, and we will take care of you, okay? Charlie says in a soft voice. So Charlie picked up Anne-Marie and carried her back to David's room and to get some rest. And then all of the sudden Anne-Marie says, "But Charlie, I don't want to go to sleep," she says in a sad voice to him. "I know, sweetheart, but you need to get better. We don't want David to get sick, do we?" Says Sasha. "No, we don't," says Anne-Marie. So Charlie tucked in Anne-Marie and kissed her on the forehead and then left the room. But before they left the room, Anne-Marie says, "Charlie, Sasha?" "Yes," they both said at the same time. She wanted to talk to them and tell them how much she loved them, but she could not. She broke down crying again. So Charlie and Sasha both went over to comfort her and sing her a lullaby. "I will always be with you, make some difference when your road takes you through. Even if we're apart, never joy. We're at the heart. There are moments may be gone. We will all still live on. We will always be with you. We'll be by your side whatever you do. Even if the memories may fade, but the ones that we made are eternal as they start. Now we're part of who you are, and we'll be there with you. Sound of your laughter will be in the tears you cry, 'cause the way we all are, our touch with one another doesn't end with goodbye. We will always be with you like a guardian angel, constant and true. When we're lost, you're lost in the night, lost in the night. can't see the light. Our love will see you through. We will always be there. You'll have me there. And Marie sings, I will always be with you. After they all sing a song, then Anne-Marie went to sleep, and they both kissed her on the forehead and left the room and closed the door behind them quietly. And Sasha and Charlie both went to take a nap in the living room for a while, and then later on they will both check up on Anne-Marie to make sure how she was doing. It's been a half an hour, and Charlie and Sasha decided to go check up on Anne-Marie to see how she was doing. And when they got there, she was not throwing up anymore or holding her stomach, but she was sleeping peacefully. So they decided to wait until David gets home from school and to see if David's family has any medicine for her to take. A few minutes later, by the time when David got home, he says, "Hi, Charlie and Sasha," he says. He asked where Anne-Marie, where's Anne-Marie? And Charlie says she is sick today with a stomach flu earlier this morning, so me and Sasha took care of her to make sure she was doing okay. So we were both wondering if your family has any medicine for her to take, Charlie asked David, and David said, "Why, yes, we do. I'll go tell my parents to see if I could have some medicine to give to her." And with that, he left to tell his parents that Anne-Marie was not feeling good. So they gave him the medicine to give to her and some water for her to wash it all down. And when he got there, Charlie and Sasha and Charlie were by her side the whole time, making sure she was okay. And when she woken up, she found Charlie, Sasha, and David in the room all together. "Hi," Anne-Marie says. "Hi, sweetheart. How are you feeling?" says Sasha. "A little better." "A little better," says Anne-Marie. And Charlie put his hand on her forehead and says, "You still have a still have fever, honey, but don't worry. We'll give you some medicine so you can get better quickly. Okay? Charlie says with a soft and loving fatherly voice. And Anne-Marie says, no, 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 over my dead body, she says angrily. And Charlie and Sasha and David were shocked to see this side of her. And that's when Charlie says, okay, you want to do this the hard way? Then we'll do this the hard way. With that, David poured the medicine on the spoon, and Charlie and Sasha tried to give it to her, and she fight back at them. And that's when David decided to go with Plan B. So he put the medicine in his mouth and looked into her eyes and placed a kiss on her lips. And she took the medicine, and Anne-Marie let out a disgust look on her face, and David gave her the water, and she drank it to wash it down the medicine, even though she didn't like the medicine. But the kiss, she blushed, because that was her first real kiss. And Charlie and Sasha were surprised. They never knew David could do something like that. And with that, Charlie and Sasha kissed her on the forehead and let her sleep for the rest of the day. And David left the room with them. He was blushing and his heart was pounding. David realized that he was falling in love with her, and she was falling in love with him. So he decided to tell her how he feels when she gets better. So for the rest of the day, David did his homework and ate dinner and went to bed. So did Sasha and Charlie. And for the rest of the night, everyone had a lovely and peaceful night. It was a wonderful and beautiful morning. Everybody was waking up for a brand new day, and Anne-Marie was feeling a lot better from yesterday, except she cannot stop thinking about that kiss that David gave to her. But the kiss was only for her to take her medicine. He had no other choice but to do that. But did the kiss really mean something? Or was it all a big misunderstanding? Either way, she will have to tell him how she feels. Little did she know that he was planning to do the same thing. Meanwhile, Charlie and Sasha were both outside when David came out to talk to Charlie and Sasha. "Hey, Charlie and Sasha," says David. "Hi, David," says Charlie and Sasha. "How are you doing with school?" says Sasha. "School is going okay," says David. "Anyway, Charlie, can I speak with you alone?" says David. "Of course, buddy," says Charlie. When Charlie and David were alone, David decided to get Charlie's blessing to go out with Emery on a date. "Charlie," says David. "Yes, David," says Charlie. "Can I ask you something?" says David. "Of course, David. What is it?" says Charlie. "Well, I want to ask Anne Marie out on a date, but I need your blessing first, since you and Itchy took care of her until she got adopted," says David. Charlie was surprised to hear David say that. He knew that David was falling in love with her, and Emery was falling in love with him as well. He knew that Emery was not a little girl anymore, but she will always be his little girl. So he says to David, "You have my blessing, but if you break my little girl's heart, I will really hurt you, and I will expect you to take care of her and treat her right. Look out for her, keep her safe from any danger, and always love her no matter what," says Charlie with a serious look on his face. And David says, "I will. Thank you, Charlie, you're the best." He hugged Charlie and went off to find Anne Marie. When he got there, he found Anne Marie walking towards him. "Hi, David." "Hi, David," says Anne Marie with a sweet voice. "Hi, Anne Marie. How are you doing today?" "I'm feeling a lot better from yesterday," says Anne Marie. "Oh, well, that's good." Say, Anne Marie, may I ask you something?" "Of course, David. What is it?" says Anne Marie. "Will you go out with me?" says David with his cheeks red. "You mean like a date?" says Emery, blushing. "Well, if you want to. I mean, you don't want to. You don't want to. I completely understand." But before David could finish, he was cut off by her lips on his, and she says, I would love to go out on a date with you, David, because I love you from the first time we met. I have had feelings for you, like every time I'm near you, my heart starts to beat the very fast. I don't know what to do, but I couldn't tell you because I was afraid that you didn't like me back. But before she could finish, she was cut off by his lips on her. And when the kiss have ended, David says, "Emery, you don't have to worry. I love you no matter what happens. I will never leave you or hurt you or abandon you. Not now, not ever. You have me, Charlie, and Sasha, and my family here with you now. You will never be alone no matter what. We will all be together no matter what happens, now and forever and always," David said in a sweet and soft voice. And Emery was so touched by his words that she wrapped her arms around him and hugged him, and he hugged her back. "So, are you free on Saturday?" says David. "Well, yes, I am," says Emery. "Okay, then, Saturday it is then," says David. A few hours later, David was really excited. He cannot wait to go out on a date with his new girlfriend. And that peaceful night, he falls asleep with a smile on his face. He can hardly wait for Saturday to come. I hope you all liked this story. I did. Sorry, I'm not the best story reader. So, thank you all for watching, and talk to you all later. Bye.